From the News Talk STL studios in St. Louis, it's the Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. On tonight's episode, helping Texas flood victims with Vincent Saben of Buck Up Relief Mission, District 111 State Rep Cecelie Williams, and the Right Mind studio band Mitch Murphy and the Murphy Tones. Now putting the fun in your dysfunctional world, here's your host, Todd Showalter.
You know what? I woke up at 2 a.m., actually 2:12 a.m. last night, and I had a burning weather question. I mean, just this weather question was in my head. And so I wanted to get a hold of our friend, that was on just a little while ago.
Leah Hill or Stel Ponticus?
I didn't know, the reason I don't bring up her name, Leah Hill, because I called, and Ollie, her husband, her boyfriend answers and says, quit calling here. I said, I have a weather question. So I'm gonna throw it out to you, okay? Now, weather is science, right? Wouldn't you consider weather a science? Mm-hmm. Okay. But here's the thing. Weather, you can't really, it's unpredictable. It's always wrong, okay? So I'm thinking if weather is always wrong and it's a science, that Fauci guy that tried to kill everybody, okay, when he was saying you've got to trust the science, you really don't trust the science, because if weather is a science, you can't trust it, which means this Fauci guy that tried to kill everybody was really wrong the entire time because you can't trust it. See? That's what I thought at 2:12 a.m. last night. I tried to get a hold of Leah, and Ollie answers the phone and says, don't keep calling here. I think I just said that, and that's my story. I just want to get it off my chest. So it's really not, you can't trust the science because weather is a science. You can't trust it. And that's where I went. And then I went back to bed, and I spooned with Benny the dog, who's staying with us.
And the libs, they trust the science, and they're blaming these Texas floods on Trump like he was spinning in a circle, causing hurricanes down in Texas when he was hundreds of miles away, even if that was possible.
It's crazy.
If he was in Air Force One seeding the clouds with his chemtrails and turning the frogs gay, I don't think we would believe it, because we can look at the log of Air Force One. It was nowhere near Texas.
I know. I thought it was the craziest thing ever. And I even did like an Instagram video to talk about this, okay? Because here's the thing. And this was not my idea. My wife, okay, who I can't bring up on the show, but I'm going to repeatedly during this hour, she follows all these people on Instagram, these influencers and stuff. And she said, you know what? You ought to do one of these videos like so-and-so. I go, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. And they're all edited and everything. And she kept pushing and pushing. So I said, fine, I will do one of these videos. So I did a video for Instagram and wherever they go. And I was talking about just that, about how the libs are crazy, thinking that Donald Trump has some effect on the weather, or whatever was going on down there that's terrible, okay? And so I did that. And you know what that was like, my friend? It was like throwing a bloody pork chop to the liberal piranhas out there. I mean, you know how much they hate me anyway, okay? They go after my cartoons savagely. So when they had me right there in my mullet flesh, they just went after me like barracudas that haven't eaten for like 12 days. Boy, did they have a good meal, too.
And these libs, they don't even know. They don't even know. Oh. Weather is unpredictable.
Yeah.
You can't blame it on Trump, except for the fact that they keep saying this was a once-in-a-100-year flood. So I guess if you just look at the Farmer's Almanac for 100 years ago, look at the weather on this day, then you would know if it was going to flood or not.
Well, and then it got me thinking, and I was going to ask Leah about this also, but, Ollie was so rude to me. I mean, this whole thing with the tornado here that was so terrible, okay? The city of St. Louis, the alerts, the alarms, all that stuff didn't work either, okay? So was that Donald Trump's fault? I was wondering, maybe Donald Trump, in the libs' eyes or ears or whatever they have in their head, I don't think they have a brain, but they do have eyes and ears. I mean, is every major weather catastrophe, could they tie that back to Donald Trump? Could they tie back the extinction of the dinosaurs, you think, to Donald Trump? I think if they went far enough back, they could.
And there was something about the Texas alarm didn't go off for 90 minutes after everyone had already been swept away. And they're underwater. How are they supposed to hear the alarm?
I don't know. But regardless, it was Donald Trump's fault. Well, you know what? Even after it was 2:12 a.m. and I spooned with Benny the dog, I went back and I had a really nice slumber. Ask me why.
Why did you sleep so good?
Well, I'm going to tell you. My wife, she stopped by Aldi, the grocery place. Okay, now we used to go to Schnucks and Deerbergs and all that stuff, but during the scamdemic, the pandemic, whatever, all that crap. I mean, we started trying. I don't know why, but we started trying out Aldi, and I love that place. I mean, it's like an experience. I mean, it's not like your typical.
There's 4 aisles. You don't get confused by all the selection. You just grab it and go.
It's just good stuff, and now it's my go-to place. Well, I was making hamburgers last night for my wife.
Cheeseburger, pick it up.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was a cheeseburger, and for Benny the dog. But guess what? You can't make cheeseburgers without buns, at least in my home. So I said, hey, sweetheart, on your way home, will you pick up some buns? And that wasn't a sexual thing. I really meant hamburger buns and stuff. So she comes home. I'm getting to the point of the story, okay? I promise you. She comes home with the hamburger buns, but guess what? She says, I got a little surprise for you. And now I'm thinking it is sexual, but it wasn't. She whips out these and this isn't sexual. She whips out these two giant fluffy pillows that she bought at Aldi. These wonderful, these are some of the best pillows I have ever experienced in my entire life from this grocery store, Aldi. So at Aldi, you can get not only pretzels, buns, whatever, but you can get your sleeping wear at Aldi. And I got to tell you, my friend, these were some of the best pillows I've ever slept on. Have you gotten your pillows from Aldi? Because I think it's this week only. $7 a piece. These wonderful hotel quality pillows are at Aldi.
I don't know if I trust pillows from Aldi because with the history of Aldi, they are a German company.
What are you talking about?
It stands for Albrecht Discount. That's the Albrecht brothers came up with Aldi.
Get out of here.
And I'd just be afraid that a German pillow would try and snuff me out in my sleep.
Well, it didn't. And in fact, I slept.
They have a history of being kind of violent.
They certainly do. And then that's the other thing. Now you've got me on that. Get this. I did a cartoon that you just brought up about this funny alligator Alcatraz.
Brilliant cartoon.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I just wanted to hear you say that. It was like, basically, it was a guy with a sign. They're showing the prisoners, do not feed the alligators, $100 fine. And, so he's telling the prisoners, if you escape, there's a $100 fine because the alligators will eat you, okay? Aha, it's a joke. It's a cartoon.
Don't feed the alligators. There's signs that say that at Disney World.
Well,
it's a very common sign in Florida.
I think that, apparently the libs don't, the far left radical nut jobs, they don't go to Disney World because this is what I got. Oh, that's real funny. I guess you think Auschwitz is funny too. Now, what in the HE double hockey sticks does Auschwitz have to do with an alligator cartoon? Can you please tell me?
I don't know. I guess they're saying that it's like a concentration camp for these illegal immigrants, but I don't think they're being treated that bad. They get a few mosquito bites, but I'm sure they give them some calamine lotion after.
Yeah, and probably a nice, rub down or whatever. And some
three-course meal of alligator chunks.
Pillows from Aldi, too, probably. But these are also criminals. The people in Auschwitz, that was a horrible time in history. Those poor souls didn't do anything. These are criminals that are in a prison surrounded by alligators.
Got to keep the criminals comfortable.
I think they do, and I think so. And so, telling me that that's compared to Auschwitz just again shows you how just out there in far left field. I think that's why they call them the far left, because they're way out in left field. I never thought about that. It's a baseball thing, isn't it? Speaking of boats and on water, we had a wonderful time at your. Over the weekend, the 4th of July weekend, folks.
My vacation house, yes. It was very nice.
You want to come out and spend some time with me?
It's very cool.
Oh, it was cool, I tell you what. You invite my wife, who now I've brought up several times on the show, and myself out to your estate out of Innsbruck, okay? And I didn't know I thought it was one of those little log cabins or something. This place was. It was like the rich and famous.
Opulent.
It was unbelievable. It was like
spatial.
I thought, what in the heck? I've used that word twice now. It was unbelievable. This place was like a lodge, like out in the middle of I didn't even know what was out there. This is your aunt and uncle's place, who I want to adopt me at this point because they have so many places all over the world. How did you get so lucky? Is that why you picked out Erica, because she has this aunt and uncle?
Yeah, I ran a background check. I did the Carfax, found out she was swimming in aunt and uncle money, and I said, all right, let's lock this down.
Wow.
Not in a marriage sort of way, but in a actually locked the door so she can't leave sort of way.
Well, that's a great idea. Was it like one of those I don't know, what do they call it, Match, those dating apps? Do they put that on the profile? I have a rich aunt and uncle that have some really cool toys and homes that we get to visit.
Swipe right on that, babe.
That's a wonderful idea. It was a very beautiful place, so in a nice time. I got to meet your extended family. A lady, girl, she was pregnant, and I didn't
Had nothing to do with you.
It did nothing. Well, that's like, when Chrissy Mayer, she always tells me it's her kid, okay? And so I'm glad. I asked her, your relative, I said, that's not mine, was it? Is it? I didn't actually say that, but I thought it.
Now, we were also checking out Innsbruck because it was one of the potential wedding venues for sales guy Ethan's daughter.
That's right, we did.
And I came back and I said, Ethan, good news. The place is still beautiful. lock it down, just like I locked down Erica.
Yeah.
And he said it's $40,000 is what they were charging.
But now, well, why don't they just have it at your aunt and uncle's
That's
place?
what I said. And he said, well, there's 175 people that are going to come to my daughter's wedding. She's
So?
very popular and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I said, Ethan, we'll do it run and gun style. You come out to the house, maximum of 10 people. Sorry, 165 people. You got to stay home. We do it either at the actual house, which you saw, very spatial, very beautiful.
It's like a giant, it's a lodge. It's not even a house. It's like a resort.
And then we can drive up to the actual wedding venue that they have.
See?
You saw it.
I did.
And we'll just run and do it without telling anyone, not asking anyone. If there's already a wedding there, we just act as if.
Dine and dash.
Dine and dash, grab some champagne, and what the heck? Someone else pays $40,000, and we just hijack
It's like
their
crashing
wedding.
a wedding, but you're really not crashing it because you live there. We even had our picture taken in front of a bunch of balloons that somebody was celebrating something for, and we made it look like we just belonged. That is the key. You make it look like you're just supposed to be there, and nobody questions you. We used to walk out with those little gumball vending machines in the supermarket they used to have, and if you just acted like you were supposed to be removing them, they wouldn't even question you. That's why I have a whole garage full of like those vending shop or whatever what are the gumball machines in my garage.
You got a few Redbox machines, too. It's no big deal.
Well, you told me about that.
It's terrible what happened at Innsbruck. They were trying to charge Ethan, sales guy, $40,000 for the wedding.
Yeah.
And I guess they scammed someone into doing it because they took that $40,000 and they said, oh, we're going to spend it on the big 5th of July fireworks show.
Oh, well.
And guess what happened this year at Innsbruck? The 5th of July fireworks show was a disaster.
I know. I heard about that.
They started it 15 minutes early because they thought it was going to rain. It didn't rain. They didn't thank any of the sponsors, so they just pocketed all that money as well.
Yeah.
And then the fireworks, which I guess are flammable, caught the entire barge on fire.
Yeah, that was cool.
And they ended the show before it was over. Like halfway into the show, they just ended it. And then all the speakers were turned up so loud around the lake that the little kids that I was around, their ears were bleeding. And they said, this hurts.
Oh, wow. Well,
so what did they do with the $40,000 that they asked for the wedding? They didn't spend it on fireworks.
I guess not. So that's good news for Ethan. Since Ethan ruined the 4th of July fireworks, maybe he can have his wedding there.
You even texted me and you said, heard the Innsbruck didn't go too well.
I did.
It was all over Facebook, the disaster that happened.
I think, though, a burning barge is a lot more exciting than fireworks anyway.
Cut it from its mooring or its anchor and just let it go around the lake.
Blows.
Get a close-up picture with it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's the way to go. You just got to take those opportunities and run with them or swim with them in that opportunity.
They charge $8 a person at Innsbruck just to look at the fireworks.
It's in the sky.
They have $60 tickets for buffet, which we didn't. They were sold out because so many people want to go to buffet. So the rich aunt, she bought us $8.
Jimmy Buffet, didn't he?
They bought us $8 a ticket to look at fireworks, and then there were no fireworks.
What a scammer.
What are they doing with the money out at Innsbruck?
Well, I don't know. I think it's like one of those scammeries that we know about. Did I tell you about the Aldi pillow? Yeah, I think $7.
You know who needs to know about this disaster at Innsbruck is someone who's raising money for the Texas floods.
Yeah, we do. That's right. We do.
Vinny Saben.
Oh, yeah, Vincent Saben. He's going to come on.
Start a GoFundMe for Innsbruck's fireworks show.
He's actually going down there. He's bringing a whole bunch of guys, and they're going to go clean up. In the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy in the whole world, Joey V. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, helping Texas flood victims with Vincent Saben of Buck Up Relief Mission. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who I assume is faster than a speeding bullet due to the fact that he's survived multiple marathons through downtown St. Louis, Todd Showalter.
Ready, set, go!
And we're back. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy Joey V. And on the line right now is Vince Saben. He's with Buck Up Relief Mission, and they're going down to help those Texas flood victims. How are you, Vince? It's a very noble effort you got going. Tell us about what's happening.
Well, we're working on raising funds, supporting the search and rescue, which is unfortunately becoming search and recovery.
Yeah.
Hope has faded so much on finding anyone. There's still over 100 people missing.
Yeah.
So we're supporting them, and we are working on getting relief supplies down there. I myself am on my way to North Carolina to pick up a load to take out there.
Yeah.
TFA, the company I work for on this load, has donated the truck to go do it. and we have some stuff that we need to move out of New York that's been put together, and out of Illinois that's been put together. It's just a major effort.
Yeah.
We brought through the network that we have, a grassroots network we have with other people. We've been able to bring in some search and rescue dogs, teams, and other volunteers. This is something that they really need. If there's anybody out there that can go down to Texas and give them a hand, they're in really need of volunteers to organize and distribute the relief supplies and help with cleanup as the cleanup begins, which is a very delicate task because with the people missing, you may find a pile of debris, and you have to be real careful moving that debris in case, unfortunately, there may be somebody in it.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely a horrible situation, and unfortunately, it just seems to keep getting worse. I mean, it started with the camp and those poor children and everything, but now the death toll is rising. I mean, so at this point, you said it's gone from not so much a search and rescue to more of a recovery type of situation. Now, your organization, Buck Up Relief Mission, is that something that has been around prior to this, or did you establish that just for this effort?
Oh, no, this has been around. We actually I've actually been doing disaster relief since Hurricane Andrew in Florida back in the 90s.
Okay.
But we established Buck Up Relief Mission during Hurricane Helene in North Carolina.
All right.
We probably moved close to 1 million pounds of freight into North Carolina when the time came to help them and do whatever we could. And we've continued it, and moving on, we'll keep going as the disasters come. We'll respond if we're able. It's all about funding. We are a grassroots. None of us get paid for what we do. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the company I'm working for, they donate in the truck, but I won't get paid for the load. It doesn't work that way.
What kind of supplies are you actually looking for now? I mean, are you looking as far as helping the families and things like that down there? I mean, because you said it's
right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
A lot is, kind of like Hurricane Helene. A lot of attention was put on Asheville, mm-hmm. and the surrounding areas and towns weren't in the news. Okay, and due to all the young girls and everything in Kerrville, Texas, taking a real big brunt of this flood, they're still in need of volunteers, but then you got to look at the outskirting areas, the other towns. I do know Monroe, all their roads are gone. They're an unincorporated town, so they're going to need help getting in and out, getting supplies into them, clearing the roads that were there, rebuilding the roads. The town of Hunt, which is right next to Kerrville, there was major devastation there.
Right.
It wasn't just there. I mean, if you look at the news of the two young girls, the 11 and 13-year-old girls that texted their family and their grandfather, and they were found 18 miles downstream.
Right. Well, they're saying it was like it's like a once in a lifetime or once in every 100-year type of flooding situation. So you can't really prepare for that, obviously. I mean, so you have people that obviously they're caught off guard, and now you're going down to help. Now, as far as your organization, you said you're looking for help. I mean, understanding that you need funds and things like that. We have people here. We're in the St. Louis area, and I know people that that are going to go down and help, but I guess you don't want just some, unorganized, random, just you show up type of thing. If people actually do want to help, do you recommend they get in touch with your organization, or what is the best way of doing that? What kind of process? You
can go on bannersoffreedom.com, or on to buckuprelief.org.
Buck-up Relief.
Mission
Okay.
on buckupreliefmission.org.
Okay.
And contact us, and we can put you in touch with people down, boots on the ground down there that can direct you where to go. And we have people down there that will have opened up their B&Bs, their Airbnbs. Some people are rooming their house for people to stay. So, so contacting us, we'll be able to facilitate people and able to go down and volunteer.
Well, it's a wonderful effort that you're doing. And again, you say this isn't the first one. What motivated you to get into this, to just actually start the organization?
God, I would have to say.
Yeah.
When Hurricane Helene hit, I just woke up and you need to get a truck moving.
Yeah.
And I commenced to make phone calls and network with everybody that I network with, and we built from there. And it's really strange. Like I said, Hurricane Andrew back in the 90s, the devastation there was so immense.
Yeah.
And I've also been to tornado disasters, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Tennessee areas, and dealt with some floods that have gone on, like in West Virginia recently. And you can hear about it, but until you actually see it and connect with the locals and how they're affected, it gives you it affects you entirely different.
It's wonderful what you're doing. And if people do want to get involved, again, you're telling them to go to the website, and that's buckupreliefmission.org, and to get in touch with you. And okay, was there anything you'd like to add?
It's to kind of add on what you said. It's unfortunate, but pain motivates. And when something like this happens, everybody can feel their pain.
Yeah.
I mean, these parents have lost all these kids, and that's what unites people. I mean, 9/11 you brought up. This country became so united; it was amazing. And that's just it. But we've got to get beyond that. We've got to get where we're united all the time.
I agree. And again, I mean, I don't want to go too far off topic here, but there are a lot of people that don't want us united because if you're divided, you can control that. And unfortunately, like I said, sometimes, you can't break the human spirit. You can't break the American spirit. And in situations like this, I think you're helping people. You're reminding them of that. And again, I think you're helping. I don't know, you're helping the people that actually need it down there, but I think you're reminding people everywhere that, we're really all in this together, and everything else really isn't, when you put it in perspective, not that big of a deal when you're talking about human lives. That's really what matters. And so, well, I want to thank you again. Go ahead.
We can't, the government can go in and do so much. They can send FEMA in, and they can only do so much. So these grassroots organizations that I work with, and just the people that step up and help, fill that gap. And we can't rely on our government for everything. We just can't.
No, you can't.
And so if people can donate $5, $10, whatever, we're also on Buck Up Relief Mission on Give Send Go.
Okay.
And there is a link on the .org place. Any donations help. Like I said, $5, $10, anything. It all adds up.
Okay.
And it gives us the fuel to move the supplies that need to be moved.
Okay.
We don't always get a truck donated. I have to go to other truck drivers, and they need fuel, and they need to be able to maintain their trucks to keep them going. A lot of the owner-operators out there have big hearts, and they step up when we need them. So, but they do need fuel. They do need to survive. I mean,
you need a lot of stuff.
Right. To run across country, I'm probably going to burn $1,500, $2,000 worth of fuel going from North Carolina to Texas, and so it's rough. So the more help we can get, the better. And again, if someone wants to go down and volunteer, contact us. We can direct them into the right location. If you don't feel that you can have any money, and you can put together people in your local area to gather supplies and put them together and hopefully get enough to fill a semi truck or whatever, that's a great help too. And you just contact us and we'll do what we can do to move that and get it to the people that need it.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, again, you're doing God's work, and that's wonderful. I mean, I have no words to explain it. I mean, again, but if people do want to help in any possible way whatsoever, because it really is a horrible situation, go to buckupreliefmission.org. Whether they want to be there, or whether they want to donate monetarily, supplies, whatnot, that's the way to do it. Okay. Well, Vince, thank you very much for joining us. Anything we can do on our end to promote it and get people to help, we will. And I'll follow up with you to see how things are going, okay?
All right, Todd. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, Vince. And again, thank you.
You have a blessed day.
You too, my friend. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
During that whole conversation, I was studying the timeline of this emergency alert system, and it's just tragic because at 4:20 a.m. on 4th of July, there was a place up from Kerr County where all the devastation happened. A firefighter from this place called Ingram called Kerr County at 4:20 and said, you got to tell everyone on your cell phone system, you got to send out the alerts.
Yeah.
And they said, we got to get permission to do that.
Instead of
this notification system was called Code Red.
Yeah.
It sounds more like Code Red Tape.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I can't believe it. So 90 minutes later, after this firefighter uphill was talking about flooding and warning Kerr County, they finally sent out some notifications.
Wow.
But then others didn't go out for 6 hours later.
Yeah.
They didn't even send it out to the whole Kerr County until 10 a.m., and the devastation happened, at 4:20 a.m.
Yeah, it really is terrible. And you think about certain situations. I mean, they're talking about, things with internet problems, things like that. I mean, don't they? I mean, you talk about ham radio or like those stuff. I mean, even if you have like regular radio, I mean, I think there's got to be other ways of alerting people besides Wi-Fi and internet and things like that you would think of in such a situation like that. I know you're right. I mean, it's just terrible. I wasn't aware of the situation as people not being able to be warned because of red tape.
This system was implemented fully in 2021, and even back then, some of the politicians were saying this warning system isn't going to do any good. It's just a way to hide government waste. We're never going to use it. And now it's like it was installed, but still, who knows what kind of government waste was hidden behind the system if it didn't work properly.
It's terrible. And the only redeeming thing, not that it's so tragic and terrible, is that, you do remember that, you put aside all these pettiness stuff about, whether what you think politically or whatnot. But the bottom line is we're all Americans. That other stuff doesn't really matter when human lives are involved, and we got to stick together and do what we can and not be pulled apart.
Yeah, it just reminds us how lucky we were on May 16th with the St. Louis tornado, because I think there was only about 3 people who died, but they were inside buildings that were really old that got crushed. I mean, Texas, they've got 120 people dead, 170 still lost. And I was talking to a guy who runs the golf course in Forest Park, the epicenter of this tornado, and they have an advanced super weather system that they pay for.
Yeah.
And they were actually with their sirens way before the one that St. Louis City uses, and they got everyone off the golf course. No one was hurt in Forest Park. So somebody went above and beyond in the Forest Park, the jewel of St. Louis, but in the poorer places, North City, they were just left behind.
Nope. And like he said, government, you need government, but it's not always the best. Sometimes you got to do what you have to do in your gut. Well, on a happier note,
and that was our audition to do Tim and Chris's show for Sirius when they're out of town in Israel.
That's right. Well,
Big Boss Jeff says we're never serious, and we were just serious for 5, 6, 15 minutes right there.
I know. People think, it's just, this will happen. Like, people will run into my wife and I, who now I brought up 5 times, and they're like, what's it like being married to this goofball that's crazy all the time? You know what? The only time I'm really goofy and crazy is with you.
Yeah.
usually I'm totally serious. They think what a boring introvert Todd is. So, so when we're taking over, when, Tim and Chris are in Israel for that 1 week, I mean, if you're going to want to be tuning into that week of their show, expecting the usual guffaws, I'm sorry, you're going to save that for the weekend because, hey, we're all business when it comes to the weekdays.
I'll be Concrete, Walter Concrete. And you be Brian Williams.
I'll be Brian. Who's the guy?
Habitual liar, Brian Williams.
Peter. I'll just lie a lot. Yeah, that won't be hard.
Dan Rather.
Tom Brokaw.
Oh, the greatest generation, Tom Brokaw.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that and more, and we'll cheer everybody up when we come back. In the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter, acting very serious, by the way, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V., who's also acting very serious, except for Mitch. He's acting like a total goofball. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, District 111 State Rep Cecelie Williams. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who does not have an alter ego, but he does like to brag that his vows were way better than his wife's on their wedding day, Todd Showalter.
And we're back. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. And on the line now, as we just mentioned, is Cecelie Williams. She's a state rep. And I told her, Cecelie, I'm a little humbled, but I'm just going to go ahead and let you do it. You did say you wanted to come on and thank us for getting you elected. Because we said once you're on the Right Mind Show, I mean, you'll be a shoo-in to be for the election. So get that out of the way and, just kind of, just throw out the compliments and all the thank yous you want now because I want to get to the heart of the business here. Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
We had a great show. You did a great show. You always do such a great job, Todd. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
But I think that, we had a very successful political campaign and came out on top exactly like we wanted to. And I think that it's the messages that you guys all bring, getting our message out there to everyone that needs to hear it so that they know how to make the best educated vote they can when they're at the polls. So I do appreciate you guys greatly.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, too, and we love to help you out. I mean, Dave Wassinger, who we got elected lieutenant governor, he insisted on washing Joey and our cars. And I said, no, don't stop, just stop there. Simple thank you's fine. So I just want to say that, hey, you're welcome. I'm glad that we got you elected. And now let's move on to the real heart of the matter. How was that first session? You really hit it out of the park because you were one of the few people that, you brought your bill and you brought it all the way to fruition. Are you Rookie of the Year when it comes to Missouri politics?
So, I kind of heard that a little bit, that, wow, Cecelie, you've done a great job. But, I had 5 bills passed out of the House, 2 passed onto the Senate, through the Senate that got signed into law, 1 just as of yesterday. It's been incredible. I have a lot more work left to do. I love the relationships I've made. It's a lot different than I had expected.
How's that? How is it different?
The inner workings of how you've got the bureaucracy, you've got, the elected officials, you have the people who are just lobbying for their agendas they want passed, and how you can find yourself on, one day being a yes vote and, the next minute you're no, because now they've added something else. It's a whole host of, emotions that go through all of it. And, I'm a firm believer. I was sent here to do what's best for the people in my district and also for the state of Missouri, but more so just my district. And I want them to know that I did the best that I absolutely could. And I stayed busy and really helped as many people as I possibly could. And so I'm really thankful for that. But just seeing the inner workings of what happens in the hallways of the Capitol really is eye-opening and, also awe-inspiring as well.
Sure. Well, all joking aside, you worked very, very hard to get to where you're at, and you're already doing a great job. Explain, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about the bills that you had passed.
Yeah, so the bills that I had passed, one being the tracking of vulnerable persons. So currently, we had a sunset in July of 24 that was, if you had a restraining order against, someone had a restraining order against them, and if the judge ordered, they would be fit with a GPS monitoring device. And if they violated their restraining order, the perimeters, then the victim would get a notification that their aggressor is violating their perimeters. And so this would also alert the probation parole officer, that the violator, or that the aggressor was violating its perimeter, and it gave them time to retreat. If it didn't retreat, it would elevate the situation, and then emergency personnel would be there. Now, this could be in a very innocent place. Let's say Jefferson County Fair, and you don't know if your aggressor's there, or you don't know if your victim is there, and so you're here, in a public place, but you get the notification that your victim is within a certain amount of space. And so this would help out with that as well. Helps them keep to the terms of their perimeters of the restraining order. And these are for major offenders. We're not talking about someone who just might have had a little beef in the front yard or something like that. I mean,
sure.
This is going to be something that's really major. Being a domestic abuse survivor, this is something that was really important to me. We also had my dissolution of marriage while pregnant, which was a very personal situation to me. And that was, unfortunately, fortunately went through the House without any opposition votes at all. 100 passed through the House, 155 votes to 0. And where it went into the Senate, and it died on the very last day of session. So I did not get my most very important bill that was so important to me, because it held me in a situation that I didn't want to be in. That will be the very first bill that I file for next year. But then the other bill that did get passed this year was the Teachers of Tomorrow. And what this does is this allows someone who has a bachelor degree that in a totally different study major, that they can get their teaching degree through this certification program while they're at home and in their free time online, and be able to go through all their credentials and become a certified teacher, and be able to go into our public education system and really help out where we are lacking with teachers. And so this just gives another avenue. It's it's not very expensive. Considering having to go back to school, it's fairly inexpensive to do it. And you can do it within the constraints of your own home, on your own time. It's a really great program, and this does allow that class, that education, that curriculum is approved now through the state of Missouri. So, pretty great, to have such a successful freshman year. Sure. And be able to do the things that we did. I mean, we had 55 freshmen coming in this year, and it was great. We set up, me and myself, and then 2 other representatives set up meetings with the Secretary of State, the governor, the Lieutenant Governor Wassinger, of course, the treasurer. I mean, so we did a lot with our freshman class. I had social outings and really helped with leadership within our class. So that was pretty exciting as well.
What do you think the biggest issue that Missouri faces?
I think we really need to work on the elimination of income taxes. We need to work on property tax reform. The only way we can do that is by having, making Missouri more desirable for people, tourists, tourism, progress, being able to build, being, growth friendly, especially in Jefferson County specifically. Housing issue is a big deal for us. We don't have enough houses for sale for the people who are wanting to move out there. That's going to drive up the cost of homes. We really need to make sure that we are all for growth. We're growth friendly across the state of Missouri. We want people to know that Missouri is open for business, as well as Jefferson County, that we want the growth. It's the only way we're going to be able to reduce our income taxes, our property taxes, eliminate our property taxes and income taxes, is by having more growth, so that we all pay less taxes in the end, because that is my goal. I know that's the goal of many Missourians. And I think that we have a way to get there. I was actually named, I'm a committee member on our interim property tax reform committee. And we have 7 meetings during this interim. Our first one is July 16th. And we're going to look at all the different ways in which we can save and see how we can eliminate property taxes that are going to benefit both our municipalities, our political subdivisions, our taxpayers, without really affecting the people that are funded from these services, from these taxes, like our school districts and our police officers and our firefighters. And it's coming up with a strategic way to eliminate that. And I don't know if that's creating this use tax, making this the Wayfair tax something that is eligible for everyone in the state of Missouri. I think it's very possible without it having to go to a ballot vote, because it's already a tax that we collect on, a use tax that we collect on, sales tax.
Sure.
So
well,
so I don't know. There's all kinds of ways that we can try to figure it out, and I'm excited for the interim committee so that we can maybe have a solution.
Well, we were even talking with Dave Wassinger. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and we were saying, people were saying, well, how are we going to? Where's the money going to come from? Well, when you have all these other people and companies coming into Missouri because they're not getting gouged with these income and property taxes, which, Cecelie, I mean, the property taxes to me are just a crime. I mean, I think when I pay for something, I pay sales tax on it, and then each year I keep paying another tax for something I've already paid sales tax for, and then if I sell it, I got to pay tax on that. I mean, it is just a crime. I mean, I tell people,
I agree.
You talk about it with people in other states, and they're like, "You do what?" I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, and it's criminal. I mean, if you can get that done, I mean, if you personally do that, I tell you what. We're not going to call this the Right Mind Show anymore. We're going to call it the Cecelie Show. Okay, what do you say?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's something that's really, really important to me, and I will try to force myself onto any committee I can possibly be on that will help with this, because it is something that's incredibly important to me, and I know that we can get there. There are so many successful states out there that have eliminated income tax and property taxes.
Yeah.
And are functioning just beautifully. And that's where we need to be. Missouri needs to be those states that, act as those states do, excuse me. And that's where we need to be. And that is a goal of mine. And it's something that I'm taking very seriously. And I'm excited for the opportunity that Speaker Patterson, honored me with the privilege of being on this committee. And I'm really excited to see what our next session looks like, and I hope to make Jefferson County proud.
Well, I tell you what, you're doing great. And again, I mean, all joking aside, once again, I mean, you worked very hard to get to where you're at, and I mean, you're hitting it out of the park right away. And so I can't wait to see what's ahead for you. You certainly have us cheering for you, and I want to thank you for coming on.
Absolutely, thank you for having me. Once again, Todd, I want to just let you know how appreciative I am of you and the great job that you've done, and how
wait a minute. Can you say that? Can you say that really slowly? Are you getting this, Joey? Are you saying? Okay. I'm kidding you. You're too kind.
I love it.
You're too kind. But hey, we'll take it.
Absolutely. Well, anything I can do, you guys let me know, and I really appreciate you and Joey a lot, so thank you all.
You're the best. I appreciate it, too. And you take care. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you so much, Todd. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. She's great. I really like her. We talk to a lot of different people, and we always say, hey, our best friend this, our best friend that. But Cecelie, I mean, she's authentic. She's the real deal, and I was so happy that she won because she's doing everything she planned on doing. But I thought towards the end there, I could not stop thinking about this stupid property tax situation. Do property taxes get you as irate as I do? There is nothing dumber than this. You bought your car. You paid sales tax on it, and now you pay tax people listen to this show that aren't in St. Louis. They listen to the podcast, believe it or not. And they, for those who don't understand, here in Missouri, we have to pay property tax on our cars, boats, your aunt and uncle. I mean, anything that you own, every year you have to continue to pay a tax on that, which is just ridiculous. I mean, does that get you as burned as I am?
And I live in the city, where they charge me an extra 1% just for living in the city.
Unbelievable.
Because they're the 23rd most populous city in America, which means everyone has left. St. Louis used to be in the top 5.
Right.
Because it's right there on the Mississippi River. And everyone said, no, thank you. We're going to move out of the city. And they said, well, we don't have any more tax income. Let's just charge the people who decide to stay here another 1%. Oh, I went last year and I said, I'm not paying it. Nope. And then they sent me a little postcard saying you owe us $100 or whatever.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
and I said, if you knew how much I owed, why are you charging me a fine? Send me this postcard before the fines start to pile up, and then I'll pay it then. Oh, man, I hate taxes when I got to do all that paperwork.
Did they mail you the postcard? Did it come in the mail? Because they probably see that you just tell them, you say the mail doesn't work, so I never got it. And, they would have to say, you know what, Joey, you have a good point. The mail doesn't work. Nobody's getting our postcards. Here's the thing I think, my friend. They should be paying you to live in the city. I think there should be some incentive. They should say, Joey V's here. Anybody that's actually living, sleeping in St. Louis boundaries ought to be paid just to live here. I mean, because like you said, everybody's leaving because of all the crime that hopefully they'll get cleaned up. But I mean, you are like a trooper.
And they sent me the first postcard, and it said, you owe us $100 and a late fee. Please pay this. And I paid it. And they said, you still have to send us your tax form and your W-2s showing how much money you made.
Get out
and
of
I
here.
said, but you already know how much money I made because you sent me the first postcard saying you knew how much. And they said, no, we just want to have a little bit of proof. Who's looking at all these little W-2s that are sent in envelopes that are all licked up down at the city hall? Why are people getting paper cuts with my spit on it so they can look at my little W-2 stubs?
I don't think they are. I think they're giggling. I think like when Tishwana was like the mayor or whatever, I mean, I think they got all those, okay, and they just looked at him and they giggled, and Kim Gardner and stuff, they danced around him and they threw him in a big trash bag, and they said, hey, let's all send out postcards that are never going to get there because we're using the postal service, and they're just trying to make your life miserable because that's what they do. They're bureaucrats, okay?
And then a tornado comes through, and some lady at the SEMA, the County Emergency Alert System or whatever, says, I don't know if I should hit the button. I don't know who's got the button?
The button?
Oh, I got to go look at Joey's W-2 stubs and see if he's got them all sent in because I'm sorry, I can't deal with the button right now. And then 3 people die.
It's terrible. Okay, do you have a good time today?
Had a wonderful time.
I did too. Well, you know what I always say, don't you? If you don't have a right mind, you don't have a mind at all. Till next time, this is Todd Showalter along with my bestest buddy in the whole world, Joey V. Till next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. To find out about all things Todd, go to toddsprod.com. We will see you next Saturday night at 5 p.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. right here on 101.9 94.1 News Talk STL and always streaming online at newstalkstl.com.